warming up. A lot of ducks coming back from the south. They don't see much open water till they get to here, and then it's on.
You know, the grand majority of people don't see the work that goes into habitat flats. I mean, they see pictures, you know, guys holding up a bunch of ducks or whatever, and they just think that, you know, you just show up and hunt and everything's good, but they don't know the back end. In the back end, there is a pile of work. It is all day long doing something, and you got to have a big team to pull that off every year, and we're pretty fortunate with the team we put together. When we first started Habitat Flats, we drew it up on a napkin.
Get ready.
It was just a pipe dream.
Cool.
There was nothing handed to us on a silver platter. With a lot of hard work, determination, we made our dream a reality. The glory days are now. You know, for me, the off-season Habitat Flats, it's not a one-man show. It's just, I guess I'm kind of type A. It's hard for me to have it how I have it pictured in my head and tell somebody to go do it. The planting, the mowing, the spraying, seeding, all that stuff. The management part of it's what I love. I mean, for me, duck season's 365 days a year. If something goes wrong and something gets messed up from a management standpoint, the only finger that can be placed is on me, and I just seem to have it that way. Not all greenheads in the sunshine, I promise you. The radio said 104 heat index today. It feels like it. You know, pumping's always, it can be kind of stressful at times, but it's exciting. I mean, I love kicking on the first pumps of the year because I know season's getting pretty close. There's roughly 325,840 gallons in an acre foot of water. So that means, you know, an acre of land, a foot deep, there's 325,850 gallons of water. So I can kind of use that calculation then and take my gallons per minute and know how many gallons I'm pumping in a day and roughly how long it's going to take me to flood, say, 20, 30, 40, 70, 80 acres. So really, you know, when I'm looking at my habitat and when I'm turning pumps on, when I'm turning them off, I just look at roughly how many gallons per minute I'm getting out of a well. And our good ones here, you know, single phase, 15 horse motor, we're going to top out around 900 gallons a minute. This one I'm kicking on now, I'm guessing it's probably, you in the neighborhood of 500 gallons a minute, which isn't great, but electric's cheap to operate, so it's a lot better than doing something different with diesel. A little bit nervous for this year, being in extreme drought. I'm sure our water table, you know, the aquifer's drawn down pretty good. Hey, look at that. That's crazy. This well we just turned on, it's ran for 700 gallons a minute for probably 15 minutes, and all it's doing is going right down in the ground in the cracks. I mean, it's gonna take forever to fill this stuff up. When you're putting this many hours on it, running them 2 or 3 months straight, 24 hours a day, I mean, stuff happens, and you know, you'll have wells go bad. Sounds good. Sounds bad. Some of the old tape and a ratchet strap. Ingenuity at its finest. I'm not saying it's gonna work, but it'll work for today. Out of my 20 gauge, I'm shooting 3-inch Heavy X 6s. This is an all tungsten load, which is gonna shoot about 2 sizes bigger than your traditional steel shot. So being a 6, it's gonna perform like a steel shot 4. And what I like about more pellets is the pattern density. I mean, I'm getting a lot more pellets on target, a lot better pattern density, and it's gonna result in more kills. And these 6s, I mean, they're lethal for everything. Day in and day out, this is my go-to duck load. Early season gab balls, widgeon, the late season mallards, it's gonna take care of them all. Heavy X shot shells remind you of the performance of the original hevi-shot at a price you can afford. They're all extremely hard workers. I mean, they get up every day and they push themselves because they know that what they're doing that day is gonna make their season better. You know, in a month or whenever it is that we start hunting, the work they put in is going to make it easier come fall and make for better hunting. You know, Mark Bloss, he's been around since this place started. I mean, we've hunted together well before Habitat Flats came into play. He's kind of the jokester of the bunch maybe, or you can't ever tell if he's being serious, but great duck killer, good hunter all the way around. Cooper Olmsted, awesome addition to the team, takes care of Saskatchewan, and when he's down here, he's awesome help. He's a very good duck hunter when we can get him out of bed. But no, he's just like everybody else, a good hard worker and a good duck hunter. Aaron Hintz, very, very good duck hunter, without question. Good worker, great with motors and all that stuff, but he's not always the most positive. He kind of tends to look at things, maybe the glass half empty, so to speak. Big Bill, he is probably the single nicest guy I've ever met in my life. I've hunted with him over 20 years. When you walk in the lodge in the morning, the most upbeat person in that lodge every day is gonna be Big Bill. Tyler Saar, he is our kind of jack of all trades, very, very good behind the camera. The one thing that kind of defines him is you're not gonna have to tell Ty what to do. He knows what to do and he's gonna do it without being asked. Spencer Poole, I could probably sum him up and say he's the professional's professional. I mean, he's an extremely good hunter, all around great guy, converses well with everybody, gets along with everybody, good worker. I mean, he's everything you want in a great employee. Luke Cerruti, the grinder, he's a man of few words, which I like. He's gonna get the job done day in and day out, whether it takes 2 hours or if he's gotta be there from daylight to dark. If there's something to do, you can count on Luke. Austin Kaufman is one of our new guys this year, and you know, he brings a lot to the table. He's a very good caller, got a good dog, he's very good with the camera. He's been a very good addition to the team this year. Logan Sampson's been around the lodge a long time. You know, he's a local kid, and he's doing a good job for us. He's kind of coming into his own. You know, he's younger than everybody else, so he's willing to do anything at any time, and he's a good hunter. He does a great job. You know, work weekend every summer is the highlight of the summer. You know, we have all the boys come back in and try to knock out some projects that I can't do by myself.
It is a lot about working, but it's a lot about meeting up with the guys, meeting up with your friends again, seeing them outside of the work environment, seeing them laid back, you know, refreshed after a couple months off from hunting.
We get down, we have a good time. Usually do some barbecuing that first night and get up the next morning and get to work.
Might be a little snow.
He goes, oh, well, we'll go. It's going to be about 51 and a half.
It'll be a little snow.
Watching these guys build this blind, it's not going too well. Zipping them right in, bud.
Production's not as fast as it could be right now. We got people like Grinder over there. Never really worked much in his life. He can kill ducks though.
Well, he's from Connecticut. He's an alright goose caller. His dog's average, probably below average.
Most of the guys have some sort of construction background. Big Bill, I mean, he's kind of the universal jack of all trades handyman. It goes a lot smoother with him around because there's no ifs or should we do this, should we do that. Like he's got a direct answer on how it should be done, and shows us the correct way to do it. He's a hard worker. He'll outwork some of these younger kids, that's for sure.
So work weekend, I mean, we're getting pretty good at it. I mean, we know what we're doing when it comes to building blinds and whatnot. But after 10 years of them, we still don't know how to pack. We're always forgetting something. So as we're going down the levee, I'm on my phone trying to get a hold of somebody behind us to go back to the shop and get a saw or a square or something that we needed. Kind of wasn't paying attention and almost took it offside the levee.
And you just seen him cut it too sharp, and he started going, and there wasn't really a whole lot that you could do to save it.
One little wrong move, and this railer, with all this lumber on it, is getting ready to fall off. And then we're gonna have to pick it all up.
So everybody's throwing out their ideas. Oh, we gotta do this. You're gonna fall off this way. You're gonna slide off that way. We need to pull it from the front. We need to pull it from the back. And finally, old Squints just rolls up with the Bobcat, and he's like, nah, we're going this way. So we did, and it actually worked.
Over here.
We're putting up one of our stilt blinds because the ducks like hitting this spot. I mean, when you get a farm, you don't necessarily know right away exactly where the ducks want to be. I mean, it takes a couple, 3 years of hunting it before you figure out where they're comfortable at. I mean, each farm will have a little sweet spot. And for this one, it's right here. There's a little ditch, drainage ditch right here. So we'll have plenty of depth for ice eaters. We got the standing corn to block them so they can't push up into this corner. I mean, really, using that standing corn, it kind of funnels them. I mean, they're gonna land right in front of the blind every time. But it's hard to imagine right now when it's hotter than heck and we're out here sweating, but it'll come to fruition here in a couple short months. couple of the new guys that came to work weekend look like they're going to work out for this fall, so we're anxious to get to know them. And you know, it's all about creating new things. I mean, it's the Disneyland of duck hunting. We got a couple new spots, a couple new rides to try out this fall, and I mean, I couldn't be more excited for fall to get here.
Oh, oh! Tell him put her back down.
Next week on the Glory Days.
All of a sudden, we got who knows how much rain.
Tony was in Canada. We were kind of like borderline panic mode.
I was kind of freaking out a bit. We weren't gonna have enough time.
Ended up being a blessing rather than a curse.